This year, the Colfax Engineering Program and Environmental Club took on the challenge of strengthening their own community by building redwood benches for a quarter-mile walking path at Solstice Senior Center in Auburn, California. This ambitious project all started when Mr. Schwartz, a Colfax High School math and engineering teacher, saw an opportunity to improve the living conditions at the center.
We thought about building benches at Solstice maybe a few years ago, but it was this last summer that students and I went down to Solstice and interviewed a few of the seniors here, including my mother.
This meeting spurred a $10,000 grant application to Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, of which Colfax was granted. The team immediately sourced wood locally from Colfax alumnus Brian Bixler, and senior engineering student Hayden Conger volunteered to head the project.
We have all these ideas to try and make our design perfect for elderly citizens, and so it's really hard to just incorporate all of those into a bench.
The construction process was more than just a fun design challenge. It was an opportunity to make something lasting that was also environmentally conscious.
Our whole goal with this bench is that it is carbon negative, meaning that we're actually drawing carbon out of the atmosphere. So there are two ways this thing is carbon negative, kind of like two negatives making a positive. The first is that the wood is destined to the dump to decompose, releasing all of the carbon and producing methane. So rather than have that material go to the dump, we divert it to the high school where we mill it and then mill it in lumber, and that's the back and the bench. And then the legs are going to be cast in concrete, and we're going to use a green concrete that can actually draw carbon out of the atmosphere.
Although the concept of making benches may seem like an odd choice for building connections in the community, it was never really about the benches themselves, but a chance to connect generations.
I believe it's important for high school students to not only be involved in their community, but to establish relationships with seniors. Because as a whole, we tend to separate our generations. The kids do things together, the parents do things together, the grandparents hang out with the grandparents. I feel like there's less familial groupings. There's less kids hanging out with seniors, and there's a lot you can learn from them.
With a successful design and production, one bench installed and more on the way, the engineering department is successfully meeting their defined needs of creating environmentally sound benches and building community. Sometimes, benches are taken for granted by the average passerby, but perhaps they represent opportunity. So maybe next time you walk by a bench, consider having a seat and soaking in the little things. Reporting for CTV, I'm Sebastian Choppelas for camera op and editor Samantha Reedy Platt.